Welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you here. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the 3 types of fertilizers that you need to know for your plants. You can use these indoor and outdoor fertilizers. They work amazing. And we're talking about charcoal, ash, and organic fertilizers. We're going to discover what they are together, how they benefit your plants, and the right way to use them, as well as some common mistakes that you need to avoid when using these 3 types of fertilizers. Now, these materials are commonly used in gardening, but there's a lot of confusion about their differences, when to use them, and how they can sometimes harm your plants if used incorrectly. Now, by the end of the video, you'll know exactly how to use charcoal. You'll know exactly in the correct way how to use ash and organic fertilizers to create healthier soil and thriving plants. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon in order to stay updated on all things to do with gardening and follow my gardening journey as well. Let's get started. Now, let's talk about charcoal, which is the soil enhancer. Now, charcoal has been used in agriculture for centuries, and for a good reason. It's not just for barbecues. This wonderful material can dramatically improve your soil. Let's break it down. Now, first of all, what is charcoal? It's basically made up of burning wood, plant material, or branches in a low oxygen environment, which is a process called pyrolysis. And this incomplete burning process retains many of the nutrients within the material, making it an excellent soil additive. Now, common methods include creating pits or creating canals and covering the wood with soil and letting it burn slowly for about 24 hours. So what are the benefits of using charcoal in gardening? Now, we've got 5 main benefits to using charcoal in indoor and outdoor gardening. Number 1, it improves soil structure because charcoal increases soil porosity, which allows the plant roots to breathe better and absorb water more efficiently as well. Number 2, it enhances drainage. In a clay-heavy soil, charcoal here comes in to prevent issues like waterlogging by creating air pockets. Number 3, it adds essential nutrients to the soil because charcoal contains nutrients like potassium and phosphorus. These are the 2 critical nutrients for flower and fruit production. And number 4, it fights pests and diseases because charcoal's porous structure helps to trap harmful fungi and diseases, and it also reduces the risk of root infections. So if you have a plant that is more susceptible to root infections, add in some charcoal over there. And we're going to talk about some dosages or some measurements to use for the right soil. And lastly, the benefits of charcoal is it reduces soil compaction. Now, over time, compacted soil becomes lighter and easier to work with when charcoal is added. So just as a pro tip, you can mix charcoal with compost or a nitrogen-rich fertilizer for a well-balanced soil amendment. So since charcoal doesn't contain nitrogen, when you combine it with organic matter, this really helps your plants to get a lot of the nutrients that they need. So the second fertilizer is ash, which is a double-edged sword. Ash is another byproduct made by burning wood, but it's quite different from charcoal. Now, while it has benefits, it can be used with caution, and it should always be used with caution, especially in alkaline soils. Now, first of all, what is ash? Ash is a residue that's left after completely burning wood or plant materials. Unlike charcoal, it's fine and it's powdery substance that's often gray in color. Now, ash has 4 main benefits. Starting with number 1 benefit of ash is for pest control. Now, sprinkling ash around your plants can actually help to deter pests. Among them, we've got snails and slugs as well. Number 2, for fungal prevention, ash can actually reduce fungal infections in soil by creating an in-hospital environment for harmful fungi. And number 3, it adds key nutrients like potassium, phosphorus, which really help with promoting root growth and flower production. And lastly, number 4, it balances soil acidity in acidic soil. So in regions with highly acidic soil, ash comes in to really help to raise the pH to a more neutral level. Now, before you start using it, it does have 2 main drawbacks that I need you to know about. Number 1, it raises soil alkalinity. So in regions, for example, in regions like the Arab world or the Middle East or Greece, soils are already alkaline. Adding ash can actually exacerbate or worsen this issue, which makes it really harder for plants to absorb nutrients. And number two, second negative drawback is limited nutrient content, because ash doesn't contain nitrogen, which is essential for leaf and stem growth. Now, with that being said, here's how to use ash correctly. You sprinkle a small amount, which is 1 part ash to 10 parts soil. You mix it thoroughly. Please make sure you use gloves as well. And you use ash sparingly in alkaline soil. So you use it in very small, modest amounts, and you focus on its pest control benefits. Now, before you use it, you just mix 1 part ash to 10 parts soil. Same thing that we did with the blood and bone fertilizer in the previous video, linked in the description box below. Now, let's talk about our last fertilizer, which is organic fertilizers. And this is the natural choice for healthy soil. Now, organic fertilizers are the backbone of sustainable gardening. We've been using them for years. They're natural, they're nutrient rich, and they're eco-friendly as well. And they're the winner fertilizer in today's video. So what is organic fertilizers? They're basically derived from natural sources like animal manure, which is cow, goat, sheep, horse, poultry manure, and as well as decomposed plant material, which is the compost part, and other organic waste. So they could be either of the three sources. So what are the benefits of using organic fertilizers for indoor and outdoor plants? It has a couple of different benefits. I'm going to choose the top 4 benefits today, show them with you, starting with number 1. It's rich in macro and micronutrients because it supplies the nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, which is the NPK part, along with iron, magnesium, and manganese, all important for soil development and soil formula as well. And number 2, it improves soil texture. It makes the soil looser and easier for roots to penetrate. And number 3, it reduces the soil pH levels as well, because organic fertilizers make soil slightly acidic, which really helps to improve nutrient absorption for most plants. And lastly, it encourages beneficial microorganisms. It supports things like fungi, earthworms, bacteria, all these good things that really help to improve the ecosystem of the soil and help your garden in the long run. And this really improves soil health and nutrient cycling as well. So what are the common mistakes to avoid when you are wanting to use organic fertilizers? There are 3 common mistakes. Number 1, what happens when you're using fresh manure? It can actually cause you to burn your plant roots because of its high salt content. So please, before you use fresh manure in your fertilizing program, always decompose it for at least 2 months. Number 2, not washing manure as well. So rinsing manure to reduce salinity is a must before adding it to your garden. And number 3 mistake is overusing fertilizers, because too much organic fertilizer can lead to problems like nutrient imbalances. So how can we fix these mistakes or avoid them altogether? We're going to do this 3-step process before using animal manure on our plants. Alternatively, you could also use other types of organic fertilizers. It doesn't always need to be animal-based, but usually animal-based are more potent, but they also come with a lot of risks. So how can we avoid these mistakes? Using a 3-step program. Number 1, rinse the manure to remove salts. Number 2, add urea to accelerate decomposition. And number 3, cover with plastic and turn weekly for 60 days. Now, I agree, this is not for everyone. I haven't done this, and I don't advise everyone to do this, but this is a choice for you to make if you would like to use animal organic fertilizers or not. The best time to use organic fertilizers, whichever type you decide to use, is during winter, between February to between December the 15th to February the 15th, after pruning your plants. Now, this applies for anyone living in the north part, but here in Australia, the winter time for us starts around April as well. So let's just do a little quick comparison. Let's compare between charcoal and ash, which is the best for your garden. And these 2 options are great options, and this will really help you to decide which of the best fertilizers to use for your plants. For example, if you do decide to use charcoal, what charcoal does here is it improves soil structure and aeration, it adds potassium and phosphorus, and it reduces fungal infection. But if you do decide to use ash instead of charcoal, what's going to happen here is that it's really good and useful for pest control and for balancing soil acidity in acidic soils. And it's also not recommended for alkaline soil. So please, before you go ahead and use ash, you need to test your soil to know if it's acidic or if it's alkaline. So if it's alkaline, avoid using ash and go with charcoal instead. And if it's acidic, leave charcoal alone and head to using ash. So in general, if your soil is already alkaline, opt for charcoal over ash to avoid pH imbalances. So before we wrap everything up, here are some quick hacks I want you to know about to level up your gardening game. Number 1, compost tea for a nutrient boost. So ferment poultry manure with water for 5 to 6 days, dilute it 1 part tea to 3 parts water, and use it as a liquid fertilizer. Number 2, vinegar for acidic soil. So mix 1 tablespoon of vinegar with 1 liter of water and use it for acidic loving plants like, for example, citrus, jasmine, and gardenias. Lastly, plant garlic and onion because these are wonderful pest repellents that can improve soil health and deter harmful insects. I usually have garlic and onion, especially spring onion, planted as a border around my plants, most of them as well. And that's everything you need to know about charcoal, ash, and organic fertilizers. Remember, the key to successful gardening is understanding your soil and giving your plants exactly what they need. So if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, don't forget to drop them in the comments below, and I'll address them in future videos. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and have a great day.